Coming up on Mountain News this morning, school safety remains at the forefront of officials' minds after the recent death of a student. And more than a dozen animals had to be rehomed when officials found them in poor condition.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Madison Carmouche. It is 5:30 this Friday morning, and it might just be a little foggy outside, so let's check in with meteorologist Tim Drawbridge for a check-in.
And good morning, Madison. Good morning, everyone. We're sitting at 59. The visibility improving over the last 15 to 20 minutes outside our door in the heart of Perry County, but down toward Harlan, a buck-and-a-half regarding visibility. Ashland, visibility of 4 miles, not widespread, but again, still some issues this morning. A little extra time, not only regarding fog, but also the opportunity for the incoming rainfall to slow you down. 59 as you make your way outside our door and then over down Hal Rogers into Manchester. It is 57 at Williamsburg, 62 at Prestonsburg, and the satellite radar composite showing how the showers have been tracking slowly and surely toward us over the last couple of hours, and gradually this will come our way as we hit through the next few hours, and so does all the other moisture that is lurking to the south and west. Not a washout today, not a washout tomorrow nor Sunday, but definitely unsettled. All right, for today, breaks of sunshine the further east you go. Otherwise, it's showers and scattered thunder showers. The opportunity for some of this rainfall to be a little heavy with a high today and hazard up to 75. More about the first alert 7-day forecast coming up in this half hour. Madison.
All right, Tim, thank you. Lexington continues to mourn the loss of a Henry Clay High School student. Emmanuel McCauty died last Friday after experiencing a medical crisis in a classroom. According to his family's attorney, he died from a traumatic brain injury they say he received while trying to break up a fight at school. McCauty's family said he had no prior health issues leading up to the incident. McCauty was 17 years old and was set to graduate this month. With the incident that happened at Henry Clay High School, student safety in schools is on the minds of many. When it comes to student safety, Jason Rothermund has some suggestions. As a retired Special Operations Police Sergeant, he says if a student finds themselves near a fight, think of an exit strategy to get help.
You may not be able to stop the conflict. You may not be able to interject in the conflict. You might have to, but if not, we need to be thinking about how can I put some distance between me and this event in case something escalates.
When it comes to students recording altercations on their phones, Rothermund says that can hinder a student's ability to react and put their own safety at risk. Governor Andy Beshear and First Lady Brittany Beshear were seen in Lexington Thursday morning casting their ballot in the Kentucky primary election. Some of the things that will be on this year's ballots include the U.S. House, State House, special state legislature, and more.
Now, voting is the bedrock of our democracy. It should be easy for everyone to be able to cast their vote to decide who is going to represent them on the local, the state, or the national level. But far too many states have made it harder to vote. Here in Kentucky, we made it easier to vote with 3 early voting days.
Secretary of State Michael Adams also cast his vote early yesterday at the Kentucky Expo Center. Coal miner Virgil Painter was killed on the job yesterday in West Virginia while operating an excavator. West Virginia Governor Jim Justice said Painter died at the CM Energy Operations LP surface mine in Wyoming County. Justice released a statement about the incident saying, quote, "We really can't appreciate our miners enough for their work, which powers and creates steel for our homes, state, and nation. This is a tragedy beyond belief, and Kathy and I will keep this man and his loved ones in our prayers. We ask you to join us," end quote. Justice says this is the first coal mining death in West Virginia in 2024, but it is the second coal miner death nationally this year. A Louisville man charged with murder made an appearance in court Thursday morning. Kenneth Muse is accused of stabbing a woman in a retirement home. Police say he was staying with the victim at the time of the murder. According to investigators, Muse's name was on the sign-in sheet at the retirement home, and he was listed as a guest of the victim. An arrest report says Muse called 911 and told operators he did it. The woman's name has not been released. Muse was also accused in another murder nearly 50 years ago. It turns out Muse already spent most of his life in prison for a murder conviction from back in 1975. He was only paroled in 2019, but before that, Muse was serving time for the death of a man named Austin Saunders in Fleming County. According to court records obtained by our sister station, Muse was seeing Saunders' daughter at the time. Muse shot Saunders, who initially survived but died a couple of weeks later. A Breathitt County man is dead after a crash in Lee County. Troopers with the Kentucky State Police post in Richmond were contacted about the one vehicle crash just before 11:30 Wednesday night. 45-year-old Teresa Barrett of LaGrange was driving on Kentucky 11 when she struck 59-year-old Thomas E. Colwell of Jackson, who was on the roadway. Colwell was pronounced dead at the scene by the Lee County coroner. Barrett was not injured in the crash. 24 animals were put in rescue placement in Powell County last night. Powell County leaders also say they no longer need food donations for the animals at this time. This comes after police removed the animals from a home they say was in filthy condition after school officials requested a wellness check on the home of 4 children. 42-year-old Matthew Bowen and 35-year-old Lonetta Daniels are charged with criminal abuse and cruelty to animals. Social Services took custody of the children at their home and planned to place them with other relatives. Yesterday, we learned some information regarding a teen involved in a single car crash in the Elkhorn City community of Pike County. Kentucky State Police confirmed that a 17-year-old died. KSP officials say they received a call just after 8:30 on Thursday morning. The teen was driving a 2010 Jeep Wrangler, and the Wrangler hit an embankment and overturned. The teen was pronounced dead at the scene by the Pike County Coroner's Office. Yesterday was day 1 of 3 for early voting in the Commonwealth, giving folks the chance to cast their ballot. Whitley County Clerk Carolyn Willis says early voting provides folks with a sense of security surrounding their vote, explaining that anything can happen on Election Day, so having the extra 3 days makes voting more accessible.
They love the voting centers versus the precincts because there's no friction, that no matter where they go from those 9 centers, any one of those 9 centers, they can vote there. It works so well in our county with working people, especially our hospital workers.
County clerks' offices around the region began training election officers. This is to ensure they know exactly what to do when Election Day comes around in just a few days. And with the Kentucky primary election just days away, we've been previewing some races on the ballot. This morning, we're looking at the race for U.S. District 6. 5 Democrats are running for a chance to challenge Republican incumbent Andy Barr in November. The Democratic hopefuls include Randy Cravens, who works in information technology, small business owner Todd Kelly, longtime activist Don Pratt, nonprofit creator Jonathan Richardson, and social worker Shauna Rudd. Still to come, Visa could soon be updating its card system to make it more accessible for consumers.
And this Friday morning, waking up to a lot of clouds, some of us some fog, some of us some rain. We'll give you the breakdown with the First Alert 7-day forecast coming up right after this.